Hello everyone, Miss Carrie here from Miss Carrie's Creations. This summer we are in wedding planning mode. I recently posted these lovely wedding invites for you to see, and a few of you asked for a quick Canva tutorial and a how-to. So today I'm going to share how simple these invitations were to put together. Now, I'm all about making my life a little easier, so I picked up a package of pre-made invites at my local craft store. The kit included a blank piece of cardstock for printing, a vellum cover, matching envelope, small RSVP cards, and small envelopes. If you don't have something like this in your area, you can easily replicate it. The insert is an 8.5 by 11 sheet of cardstock that has been cut in half, and you can purchase that in bulk. I also found quite a few pre-folded vellum covers and decorative envelopes online that you can purchase. I'll link all of those in the description below. Now, of course, our daughter wanted these to have a little more flair, so we added some twine and a wax seal. You can see that this did amp it up a level, and it brought in that rustic element her wedding's going to have. Now, here in a moment, I'll show you how we did this part, but right now I want to show you how I created these custom printed inserts for the invitation. I used Canva to create this design. If you're not familiar with this online app, it's definitely one that you should take a look at, especially if you like to create custom printables or social media images. There is a free version of the app that you can use with templates, fonts, and images. I am using the paid version because I use this application daily, and the subscription fee more than pays for itself with all of the time that it saves me. I have added my affiliate link in the description below if you're interested in learning more. If you're going to create a wedding invitation, you can start by searching the templates that Canva has available. As I type this in the search box, you can see that Canva has already started to narrow it down for me because there are thousands of templates that I can use. I'm going to select Portrait to match the blank that came with my invitation kit. Right now, Canva has over 130,000 templates that I could use, which is a bit overwhelming. So if needed, you can use those filters at the top to narrow it down by type or color. Remember, all of these templates can be modified. So if you don't like the color or the font or the images, you can change that when we start editing the invitation. To select your template, just click on it and choose Customize. This canvas here is where you can start modifying your invitations to fit your theme. Now remember, I'm using the paid version of Canva, so I will have more font and image options. If you're using the free version of Canva, you might have a watermark over the image or font. And that's because that item is only available for subscribers. So you are going to need to change it if you don't want to have to pay for the subscription. I'll show you how to do that here in a moment. Before you start making any changes to this template, you're going to need to check that the size of the template is the same size as the blanks in your invitation. You can view the size by clicking on Resize at the top. This one is sized at 5 inches by 7 inches, but my blank is 5.5 by 8.5, so I am going to need to change the size. Resize is part of the paid version of Canva, so I'm going to show you how to resize it using this tool in the paid version, and then I'll show you how to resize it in the free version. The resizing tool is actually a really awesome feature. All you have to do is type in the new size measurements, then choose either Copy and Resize or Resize. Copy and Resize will make a copy of this document and create a new project in the new size, while Resize will just resize everything in this current document to the new measurements. I'm just going to hit Resize. Now, the cool part about this tool is that it does all the resizing for you. The images, fonts, and shapes are modified proportionately to the new measurements. You don't need to alter anything on the template. Now, for those of you who don't have the paid version, here's another way that you can resize that invitation. In your browser, you should have two Canva tabs there at the top. The one with the invitation and the one with the templates. You're going to click on that Templates tab, and then we're going to return to the home page. We're going to build a custom size template by clicking on the Custom Size button at the top. Go ahead and input the measurements for your invitation. Again, mine is 5.5 by 8.5 inches. Once you've entered the new measurement, click on Create New Design, and a new window will open with a blank template. Now we're going to go back to that wedding invitation template that you chose and select all the images. You can do this by holding your mouse key and dragging over all the images, or using the shortcut key, Control-A. To copy these images, click on those three little dots here and choose Copy. Now open that new window with the blank document, right-click your mouse and choose Paste. You can also use keyboard shortcuts if you're familiar with them. So here's where the paid version does have its benefits. Because my original was 5 by 7 and the new one is 5.5 by 8.5, the copied images don't fit proportionally to the new design. You will have to resize all the images to fit, which isn't that hard to do, but it does take a little bit of time to resize, center, realign, and so on. I'm not saying that it can't be done, but you can see that there is a benefit to having that resize option. All right, now you can make any changes that you want to this design. To change the floral, click on that Elements icon on the left and select ones that fit your theme. The ones that have a little crown icon next to them are for Canva subscribers, but there are quite a few here that you can use in the free version. If you need to change the color of the arch, you can select the image, then go up to the color blot at the top. You have a wide range of colors to choose from, or you can add your own hex code if needed. Just like all the other items in this template, the fonts can also be modified. Just click on the text, retype in the words, name, or phrase, and then use the edit bar at the top to make modifications. Any of the fonts with the little crown are for those who have this Canva subscription, but there are a ton to choose from for those that don't. I also like how you can search for fonts by theme. If you want a script, you can type the word script in the search bar and filter down to script fonts. Or you can filter to serif or vintage fonts. There are a bunch of options here. You can also change the size, the color, the alignment, and so on using the tools at the top. It works a lot like your typical word processing or designing app. Oh, and by the way, if you're not sure how to phrase something properly on a wedding invitation, there are some great how-to websites out there with official wedding wording. We used ones that were on the Knot website, but there are some others out there that have some great phrase lists that are very helpful. All right, so here is what our invitation looked like when it was done. Now I'm going to show you how to save it so that you can print it, and then I'll show you how we amped up our standard store-bought invitations. At the top right, you're going to see a share option. In this drop-down menu, you have the option to download, send it to a print service, or share it with someone else online. I'm going to show you how to download this in two versions, a PDF and a PNG. Depending on your printer, one might work better than the other. When you download the PDF, choose the PDF print. Select the flatten option, This will give you a crisper image. If you have the paid version of Canva, I do suggest using the CMYK for professional printing. This is especially helpful if you're taking it to a print shop to have them printed. We did ours at home and the RGB worked just fine. If your printing software is not printing the PDF version correctly, you may need to download a PNG, then upload it to another application like Word, Publisher, SetApp, or Adobe Design. I do suggest that you move the toggle bar over to the right to create a higher quality file before you download it. Now, we do have an older printer that didn't quite align the PDF properly, so I did upload the PNG into Publisher and then I printed it out from there. Now, I know that was a really brief how-to on making the invite in Canva, and as you can see, these did print out beautifully. And now I'm just going to show you how to add a little flair to these with some twine and a wax seal. Before you start to worry about hand canceling and extra postage, let me show you how we avoided that. First, we selected a twine that was only 1 to 2 millimeters thick and 1 strand. This is very thin and it didn't cause any issues with the Postal Service sorter. We also made our wax seals super thin. I purchased a mold for these and a wax heat gun. There are some great little wax melting pots out there that work with a candle, but I knew that I would probably spill the wax or burn something down, so I opted for the heat gun instead. This works just like a glue gun, and there are wax sticks made up just for this type of application. Now, here are a few little tricks that my husband and son wanted me to share with you because they are the ones who made all 250 seals. First, you want to have a little dish with a wet paper towel. My husband said that adding a spritz of olive oil on the towel was also beneficial. You're going to place your metal stamp onto the wet towel. The water or water and oil mix is going to help with the releasing of the wax. Normally, you would just fill up the base of this mold, but as I said earlier, we want these to go through the mail. So we only placed about a dime size amount of wax in the mold. While the wax is warm, press the stamp into the wax and let it set there for about 45 to 60 seconds. Now you're just going to pull up that stamp press and you have a little seal. Here's another tip for you. Grab yourself some of these little wax stickers. These are designed to go on the back of the wax seals, and they basically turn this into a little sticker. It prevents you from having to apply the wax directly onto the invitation, which again, I knew that I would probably make a mess of. So the rest of this is really simple. You're going to add your little invitation into the vellum sleeve and then wrap the twine around the invite. I'm going to wrap this around the invitation twice, so I'm going to cut the length needed and then I'll wrap it around the invitation. I did add a small amount of adhesive to hold the ends in place to make this a little easier. That backing of the wax seal sticker is a little difficult to peel off with longer nails, so I used a die removal tool. Once you remove the backing, this adheres right over the twine. Now, if you want to decorate it even more, you can add some floral picks or fabric leaves. Again, these will add bulk to your envelope and they may cost more to mail. Our daughter opted to add the leaf picks to the ones that were going to be hand delivered to grandparents, while the ones that were mailed had a much flatter decoration. To ensure that these were not going to get caught up in the post office sorter, we placed the RSVP card in front of the wax seal. I know this isn't standard practice, but honestly, I don't know that many standard wedding traditions are followed anymore. Now, I'm not saying that this is going to work for your post office, but it did work for us. I suggest that you take the invitation to your local post office and check with them before you mail them out. All right, my friends, that was a quick little wedding invitation how-to for you with a demonstration on Canva. There will be many more to come this summer, so if you want to see more DIY wedding ideas, make sure that you have subscribed to my channel. I want to thank you again for joining me for a simple Canva tutorial and wedding DIY. If you have any questions about this project, Canva, or making a wedding invitation, go ahead and post your questions in the comments below. I hope that you have a wonderful week, and I can't wait to see what you create.